So this year we got Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame coming out, but I got for you the next 6 movies coming out in the MCU coming up next. Hey guys, what's going on? Ride the Movie Guy here. Thank you for coming by. This is my channel, and if there's anything around here that you love, then this is the right place for you, and you want to go ahead and click on that subscribe button now. So 2019 has been quite a crazy year for the MCU already, with the controversy with Captain Marvel and the whole thing with Brie Larson. It's like almost everyone is forgotten about the future, about where Marvel's going, and just concentrate on this whole aspect with this movie. And then on top of that, you got Avengers Endgame, the movie that's the mother of all MCU movies, and it's being the one that's going to end this whole chapter of these first 21 movies, leading on to this whole new direction that the MCU is taking. So the question everyone's been asking is, what comes after that? Well, right here I got 6 movies for you that are going to be released shortly after Avengers Endgame is released this year. First up out of the 6, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, and that is the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, coming out in July this year, a few months after Avengers Endgame. This is an interesting sequel because from what happened in Infinity War, and we have no idea what happened in Avengers Endgame, to see Spider-Man, one of the characters who apparently died in Infinity War, to see him in this movie. So a lot of theories are flying around what's happening, because we don't even know what's going to happen in Endgame. And Spider-Man Far From Home is supposed to be taking place a few moments after Endgame, at least that's what we're told. But certain rumors are going around saying that's either going to be set in a whole new separate universe aside from the rest of the MCU, just because of the snap from Thanos, because there are certain characters in the Spider-Man movie that were destroyed because of a snap. Other people are saying that it's from what the Avengers do in Endgame, they create a whole new timeline. So this serves as both an Infinity War prequel and an Endgame sequel. So we really can't say, though it's Spider-Man. We are excited, and I can tell this is not going to be the only sequel we see from Spider-Man. So once Endgame comes out, it should be pretty clear of what happens in Spider-Man Far From Home. Next up, we have a movie that's been way overdue to be made, and that is a spin-off to Black Widow. Finally, it's happening, and production is supposed to start this June of 2019 with a release date of May 1st, 2020. And it's supposed to be a prequel that's set between 2005 and 6, which would put it right before the first Iron Man film, which is in 2008. And it's quoted by what the storyline is, that at birth, Black Widow is given to the KGB, which grooms her to become the ultimate operative. When the USSR breaks up, the government tries to kill her as the action moves to present-day New York, where she is a freelance operative. The standalone film will find Romanoff living in the United States 15 years after the fall of the Soviet Union. So it seems to be a very action-oriented film. I do know that they said they were trying to make a rated R movie, but I don't think that will make much of a difference, because as you can see from all the other past MCU movies, none of them were R-rated, and they still were very good with its action. You don't need all that violence to tell the story, but it looks like to be a true spin-off from someone that has been needing one for probably since we first saw her in Iron Man 2. So I say it's well-deserved for Scarlett Johansson to finally get her own movie as Black Widow. Next movie shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, and that is Black Panther 2. The first one came out last year, and it was a big success. It ended up being Marvel's first film to win an Oscar, 3 at that. So a sequel was a no-brainer for this. We don't know what's going on with this one as well, and we shouldn't know because, once again, Avengers Endgame, we don't know what's going to happen, because for most of you that saw Infinity War, spoiler alert, Black Panther is one of the ones that dies because of Thanos' snap. So we don't know what Endgame's going to do to change or alter the lives of these characters that were apparently dead in Infinity War. Though it's rumored to come out in 2021. We will see where it goes. The first one I enjoyed, so if they follow suit of that first one, this shouldn't be a good sequel as well. Fourth movie we got here is one that I'm truly excited about, and that is Doctor Strange 2. I've been waiting for a sequel to be announced for this. The first one came out in 2016, and they are way overdue for another sequel to come out for this. It's not supposed to hit apparently till May 2021, and the production of it's going to start in 2020 with Benedict Cumberbatch coming back as Doctor Strange. Once again, we don't know what's going on with this movie storyline-wise, and we all know, for the ones who saw Infinity War, that Doctor Strange was one of the ones, again, that died from Thanos' snap, so we don't know where or how he's going to come back, though I'm hoping for more of what was in the first one, which was just, it was just so crazy with the sorcery and just the visuals in that movie. It took another turn for the MCU for the best in lines of mysticism and just sorcery, so hopefully we get more of that in this one. Fifth movie we got here is actually not a sequel, it's an original first, kind of like with Guardians of the Galaxy. They were more of an unknown group. They're called the Eternals. It's considered by the MCU as one of their most exciting future films coming out. The story of the Eternals is that they are an ancient race of science experiments created by a direct result of experimentation by the Celestials, the supreme beings initially introduced by Benicio del Toro's character, the Collector, during the events of Guardians of the Galaxy in 2014. No set story for the Eternals here. Kevin Feige has said that he's excited to have a lesser-known group, kind of like with Guardians of the Galaxy, because at the time no one knew who they were, and now all these characters from that movie are like family in the MCU, and now we're gonna have a whole bunch of new characters again that even I'm not familiar with, and I grew up with the comics and I didn't really read the Eternals. And he said that it's perfect for the big screen simply because of how unfamiliar most viewers are with the characters. Marvel obviously is not afraid of taking risks. They have with all these movies, especially up to the first Iron Man movie, they were taking a risk, and even with more unknown characters like Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man. And this film is supposed to be released in 2020, November 6th. Marvel definitely is in their state of trying new things for the first time. We see Captain Marvel is the first female-driven movie, and with this movie, they're stating that they're hoping to have their first openly gay man as the lead role, so you can see they're doing a lot of diversity with these movies. And this movie's gonna have a potential production date of September of this year with a release date of November 6, 2020. Like I said, we don't know what the story is going to be really. I'm hoping for another cosmic adventure, kind of like with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Hopefully this is another big franchise within the MCU along the lines of Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. Our sixth and final movie here is another unknown original character in the MCU, and that is ShangChi. He will be the first Asian superhero that they are creating, and they said due to the ground they broke for Black Panther for the first African-American superhero, they plan to do the same thing with a film centered around an Asian superhero. ShangChi is a character that I actually heard of. I never read a lot of the comic books of him, but I have heard of his name. Marvel is stating that for the movie, they're going to try to represent an accurate depiction of Asian American culture, just like they did with the African American culture in Black Panther. So you can see where they're going with the different ethnic backgrounds they're trying to take, or trying different things, different diversities. And the story for this movie, once again, just like with all the other movies I just mentioned, don't really have a confirmed storyline. But in the comic books, it's saying that Shang-Chi is the son of Dr. Fu Manchu, raised by his father to be part of an evil empire bent on world conquest. Shang-Chi instead converted from evil to good after meeting his father's nemesis, Sir Dennis Nayland Smith. Having been a secret agent and an adventurer, Shang-Chi has joined teams such as Heroes for Hire and even the Avengers. He doesn't exactly have a superpower, but he is an unparalleled kung fu master who has long been expected to make his appearance somewhere in the MCU. And it's saying that he was at first a perfect fit for the Iron Fist Netflix series, but as most of you know, all the shows that were on Netflix have all been canceled, including that one. So they're saying that this might be his shot to be put on the big screen. And once again, this is Marvel doing an even more unknown character just as much as the Eternals was. I even feel Guardians of the Galaxy was more well known than these two groups here. So I have faith that they can bring a successful movie and make it from someone that's so unknown that even the biggest comic book fans would not be as familiar with that certain character. This is one that I feel is going to be another movie that's going to be its very own unique film, just like Black Panther was, and probably just like how Captain Marvel is. A good uniqueness, because over time, certain franchises are in need for just something new and something fresh and just a new direction to take. Well guys, those are the 6 movies coming out once Avengers Endgame is released. I hope you're excited as much as I am. I'm just loving how Marvel's taking new directions and trying new things. Endgame will mark their 22nd film in the MCU, and that is crazy how many movies it's been in just 11 years. but they're nowhere near done. So tell me if you're excited in the comments about these movies. Which one out of the 6 do you want to see the most? If you like this video, go ahead and click on that like button. Subscribe today if you want to hear more from me in the future. I'll give you any more updates on these Marvel movies as they come out. But in the meantime, just hang on and I will see you all at the movies.